right, welcome everybody. I have a special guest today for another episode of Cat's Corner. I got Peter Neilsen. Peter, can you give us an introduction to yourself and then to what your company is?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Peter Neilsen. I'm an automotive professional, been in the industry for a little over 15 years now in various aspects. I've had the opportunity to work with a little company people are starting to hear a lot more about called Cat Security. Me and the owner, we go back a couple of years. He actually caught me writing news articles is how the owner and I met, and I thought his product was really cool. It had just emerged, and this was right when catalytic converter theft was starting to take off.
What were your news articles about?
So my other alias, if you want to look me up, is Pete the Hybrid Guy. You can find me on YouTube, and you search that, you'll find all sorts of news articles from Torque News. But I started writing about hybrids, and I touch a little bit on EVs, but I've stayed really in hybrids a lot. And when I got into that, I found this shield idea. I was like, oh, this is remarkable. This would make a great story. And from that story just evolved into a huge, world of other things. And so, fast forward 2.5 years later, here I am working with Cat Security, continuing to build the product lineup. Catalytic converter theft is through the roof. And so our products are in super high demand. And we work every day to bring new products out and just stay on top of what we got. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. And your company focuses mainly on Toyotas, is that correct?
So initially, because the theft of converters on Prius was high, we started there, and we started gathering data, like looking at, what else is getting stolen? And we found out that Toyotas and Hondas are really hot targets. And we are branching out into other aspects because no catalytic converter is safe. We get calls on everything, and we get inquiries on everything. And so, yes, it looks right now as if that's all we focus on, but we do have a plan for massive expansion to other makes and models of vehicles.
Will you guys get into like the trucks? Because I'm sure the trucks are a hit too. I know they are.
Yes.
I have a Silverado sitting out in the parking lot right now that it's easy to get under, So I was hoping to buy one of your shields. I was going to put it on and make a video about it, but I didn't see it on the website yet. I'm hoping it's on there soon. So
not yet. We are working with the domestics right now. We do have plans to bring those out in the next 6 to 9 months. This is a new thing in the industry. And so
Yep.
Learning how to immediately build and scale a business that's never existed before, everybody's like, well, when are you going to bring me something? It's like, well, we've got all these other things that we've got to hit to, so it's crazy.
It's probably not as easy as I would think. You got to make sure that shield's not overheating the vehicle, things like that. There's a lot more to it than just slapping a shield on there, because you want to make sure it doesn't have any ill effects on the operation of the vehicle, I would imagine.
Right? Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And the thing that makes us unique, which really kicked everything off, was that we made vehicle-specific protection. There was universal protection out there, but we would get calls from people to say, hey, I had X product on my car, my cat still got stolen. What do you have? What's better? And so we made a better product. I like to say, we built a better mousetrap. And we constantly evolve our products. If there's something that we feel just isn't up to making it, a really high quality product, we try to change that. Even though we sell our product as a theft deterrent, we feel that it's a very good one. From when someone puts that on their vehicle, the likelihood of them having a cat converter stolen or stolen again, if they've already had that, drops significantly.
You hope at some point you can get with some manufacturers to put these on the vehicles as they come off the line, or is it always going to be an after a product that the consumer puts on, or like a mechanic puts on?
That's a good question. So we would love to do that. We would love to work with the OEMs to have our product on cars that come off the line initially, and to have the bandwidth to be able to produce things on that kind of a level would be really cool. Right now, we're in discussion with some other groups that are helping us try to get into some of these local dealer entities that can help us at least get them on new cars as a secondary accessory option, with an additional warranty backing our product on this OEM vehicle. So we are in talks with a company about that specifically, but I'm hoping that we can take it to that OEM level. That would be awesome.
Do you guys do a lot of work with the local law enforcement? Are you doing any work with them?
Yeah. So the Los Angeles Police Department, one of the biggest police departments in the nation, reached out to us and they said, "Hey, cat converter theft is ridiculous down here in Los Angeles County." And Los Angeles Police Department themselves, they've had millions of dollars of cats ripped off their vehicles. So we're working with them, and we went down, and what they're doing is preventative measures for the community, doing community outreach, bringing awareness, and they do VIN etching events, which we were able to attend with them. And now they are doing that monthly, where they're going to different parts in LA and doing these VIN etching events, but they're also showcasing our product, saying, "Hey, look, here is something that you can get on your car right now that is a help to go against theft." Up where I live in Washington State. Because I do a lot of things at Cat Security, one of the things that I love to do is I love to talk about the product. And so I reached out to a local automotive shop here that I have, that I'm in good with the owner. And I said, "Hey, we did this for LAPD. Why don't we do this for your shop? And we'll get the other police departments in the area to come out and support." And so we're doing that tomorrow in Kennewick, Washington. We're going to have another VIN etching event up here. And I'm just, out there trying to build this, one brick at a time, I guess, to help people understand, hey, it's a problem. Here's something that you can do, and here's some other practices that you can take to keep your catalytic converter safe.
So the VIN etching, so you're actually taking the VIN of that vehicle and engraving it into the converter. Is that correct?
Right. So the idea is that, if a thief steals your converter, and let's say it's got the last 8 of the VIN on it, those are unique characters to that car. And let's say that thief gets caught. Well, now the police has evidence, and they can track where that converter came from. And if there's, crime in a specific area, they can put more law enforcement in that area during certain hours of the day or night to try and help with that.
It will basically help catch the thieves and link them to the victim.
Yeah.
It won't really do any preventative, and that's where you guys come in, the preventative.
Right. Yeah.
That's where we come into a certain aspect, because we are creating a nationwide company that buys catalytic converters, scrap catalytic converters from reputable businesses, mechanics, people like that, because at the end of the day, there are a lot of legitimate cats that we need those precious metals for to get back into the supply stream. Mm-hmm. And the end of the day, a vehicle is the number 1 recycled thing in the United States. And every vehicle has multiple cats on it for the most part,
Yeah.
So there are still a lot of more recyclable, non-stolen cats out there. Is the theft increasing? Is it a problem? Absolutely. And we want to get with like-minded people like your company, Peter, and help law enforcement, help deter these thieves, document, specifically what we're buying, who we're buying it from, so we have a record if we do run into a thief, so we could help prosecute them and make that a deterrent. And I think the etching, I've heard a few other places doing that. I think that could really help prosecute the thieves, which, would be a deterrent, because right now a lot of areas aren't really, even if they get caught, they're not able to really hit them with anything. And that's a big problem, because what are they afraid of?
Exactly.
So I'd like to get with you later on that, maybe trying to see what we could do locally and bring in awareness on that aspect of it to our customer base, because the brunt of our customers are business owners, are people that that want to still get value for their recyclables, and they don't want to be treated like the thieves. So I think that's where I'm trying to reach out to companies like your own and just educate people, and then help our customers supply the right products to help fix this problem, because it's gonna take a few years to really get this thing to get fixed. But I think we got to start now, because we want to be part of the solution, not the problem. And that's why I reach out to you guys, and I hope to keep doing more of these talks with you and other people on your team. So
100%, man. And we're all in. I don't know, and for people who tune in and listen, I want to give you a kind of a backstory of why we even did this. When we got started, we're just a muffler shop, and cat converters were a good business. You get a car in with a P0420, and it's like, okay, well, new converter. Well, in the state of California, you pretty much, unless the state referee issues a exemption for an aftermarket cat, you have to run an OEM cat converter. So this poor girl comes in with her Prius, $3,000 later, she's out the door with the new cat converter on because hers was stolen. And then a week later, she comes back in, it was stolen again. So she, it's her only car. She's got to get it fixed. She had to borrow another $3,000 because she didn't have the coverage on her vehicle. Yeah. And so she's out $6,000 at this point. And she's just in tears. She's like, can I just park my car inside your facility until I can sell it, because I can't afford to keep doing this? And she said, or can you come up with a way to keep these thieves off my car? And you got under there and figured out, hey, let's cover it up. And sure enough, that happened to work out. And so we were doing an install, and one of the parts managers from a local Toyota dealer came in and he said, hey, what's that? And he instantly knew what the problem was, and they wanted some. And so it just took off from there. And kind of fast forward into that, in between all of that was happening, that's when I wrote the first news article that really took off. I put it in all the Prius groups on Facebook, and of course it went on Google and just got massive traction, and it just went haywire. So we knew it was a problem. We knew we were onto something good. And the whole reason that we did it is because we want to help people sleep at night, right? Nobody wants to go to bed thinking like, oh my gosh, my converter is going to get stolen. Can I get to work in the morning? Nobody wants that feeling. So that's why we do what we do.
Well, that's an awesome story. What area was that in? Where was your muffler shop?
In Sacramento.
In Sacramento. Okay. And that's where you guys do your production? Is that Sacramento?
So we moved locations twice now, just because of growth. We initially moved production to Roseville, California, which is in the greater Sacramento area. And then we just got into a larger warehouse, which we're looking at expanding already, in Rancho Cordova, California, all again within the larger Sacramento area.
I'd love to come visit. I don't want to come look at where.
Anytime.
Okay, great. We'll set that up. We could do a live one, and we'll kind of share with people like what you guys are really doing, because I want to show people some of your products. We're gonna hopefully be able to showcase your product on our website soon. We want to be able to showcase your product at our SEMA booth here in November.
Absolutely.
And we're excited to keep going down this path and helping fix this problem to make legitimize the good side of the recycling, so.
Absolutely. You bet.
Well, you let me know when you get one for a Silverado, because I will put it on and I will film it, and I will
What
share.
years are Silverado, so I can push this to the front?
2020.
2020 Silverado.
Yep.
5'3".
6'2".
6'2".
Mhm.
So I'll make it happen. We're always looking to try and get new products out as quickly as possible. So that's one of the other things that I do, is really try to push product development, because I field a lot of the customer phone calls and inquiries. And so to me, it's always like, there's always a fire, and that's our biggest fire. Let's make product. So you got it, man. We'll really push forward to that.
All right, Pete. Well, have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend. I really
Yeah, you
appreciate
as well,
it.
man.
Let's do this again. Let's get you back on Cat's Corner here in a couple weeks. Okay.
Sounds good. Happy to do it.
Thanks, buddy.